Hi, welcome to the Hillsong Devotional. My name is Mendez, and along with my wife Lucy, we are lead pastors to Hillsong Church in Latin America. I just want to share some simple thoughts with you from Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 and 6. Paul writes and says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice." He goes on to say, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation with prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Just two things I want to highlight from these verses. Firstly, Paul says, rejoice in the Lord always. Do you know that being joyful is actually a choice? Why do I say this? The root word for the word rejoice in this passage is actually the same root word for the word grace. In other words, our joyfulness is not circumstantial. The foundation for our joy is actually the grace of God. That grace of God that washed away our sin, that grace of God that wiped away our past, that grace of God that made a way for you and I to have a relationship with God the Father. So regardless of what happens to me, or regardless of the season I find myself in, being joyful is actually my choice as I focus on the grace of God. He goes on to say, do not be anxious about anything, but with prayer and petition and with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. The second thing I want to highlight is that Paul says, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. We need to cultivate in our lives an attitude of gratitude. And just like being joyful is a choice, being grateful is a choice. We cultivate that attitude of gratitude when we focus on that which He has done, when we focus on that which we have, instead of focusing on the things we lack and those things we don't have. Being joyful is a choice. Being grateful is a choice, because both principles are founded on the grace of God, which has radically impacted our lives.